Hello and welcome to this video. Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how you're going to set up phase one. Okay, so this is essentially step one of making sure you've got full AI capabilities of using this platform. So what we need to do is we need to head over, okay, as you scroll down you'll see something called Google AI Studios, where you're going to get an API key, and with that key we're going to come here to the field of API key and we're going to enter that. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of short steps how you're going to obtain your API key for the provider of Google Gemini. So straight away you can see it says, as you scroll down below this video, get your API key here, and there's a link there like so. Simply select that link and it will take you to a brand new window. Now in this window you can see we're in the Google AI Studio, and it's completely free to actually sign up and use this platform. Okay, they have a free tier system, so you need to go ahead and select create API key. Okay, once you select API key, okay, it'll open up this new pop-up, and within this you will essentially have something called create API key. So this will be blue, however, because I've used this before, it's going to ask me to actually use from the drop down this language client. But for yours you probably will not see this. What you will see is this button says create API key. So go ahead and select create API key. Once you select that, it will take a few moments and it will generate a specific and unique API key that you're going to need. So here you can see API key generated. You can copy that, and we are going to go back to the platform here where it says key identifier. Let's just call it Google API key. Okay, so we know exactly where it's come from as a reference, and we're going to go ahead and paste the API key. Okay, so there you go, that key is in there. Once we select, it will refresh and it will save. So go ahead and save your key. So you can see really simple short step on getting your key. Once it refreshes, you can see now it has redirected us to another tab called the AI settings. Okay, so as you're watching this, you're now going to be redirected once you enter that key on the pop-up to the new tab of AI settings. Okay, so now you can see the AI key has been added and is set as default. Now next, head back over to the platform, okay, where we got the key in the first place, and what you're going to need to do is go to where it says plan. Under here you'll see a tab saying set up a billing. Select set up billing and make sure you actually have an account set up, just to make sure we say to avoid any kind of uninterrupted service on your account. So link a billing account. It will walk you through those steps. Very simple. So now once you've done all of that, you can now return back to the platform, and we're going to follow the second API key that we're going to want you to add just as precautionary measure to make sure you've got two keys set up. Again, once you go to the AI provider, there's a drop down. It's going to say Open AI. Once I select that, you can see there's another prompt just to make sure you add your billing details to stop any kind of uninterrupted service. So once I go down, you're going to see it's going to ask for key identifier, API key, the same steps we've done for the Google Gemini key. Now, because I've selected it, can you see where it says API key here? It is a new link. Okay, we're going to select. Once you select that, it's going to redirect us to the Open API section here like so. Now, immediately I've got two aspects. I'm going to hit the green button here. It says create new secret key. And I'm going to go to owned by, not you, but service account. Let's call this open key 2, and go and select create secret key. Some instances you may see that you might have to complete a quick puzzle just to make sure that you're human. I'll go ahead and do that right now, and I'll show you exactly what it's going to look like once you've done. Okay, so verification is complete, and now you can see I've got a brand new key here. So what I want to do, if you can see, it starts with SK. Okay, that was a service key, and I copy. You can make a note of this. Return back to the platform. Put key identifier. Let's just put open key 2, and I put in my API key like so. And when I select save key, it will be the same process. It will save, refresh, and you can see now it's actually been saved here like so. Okay, so now I can see that's completely visible. Now I come back to the platform of Open API. Okay, we select done. Now what you need to do essentially is, if you go to the settings tab, there's a couple of processes there. Once you go to settings, go to billing. Okay, once you select billing, you need to go ahead and make sure you've set up your billing details. You can add like $5 in worth of credit, but you can see up about 10 bucks there. And this is a really important step. You need to make sure you actually go ahead and do that. Again, as highlighted here, when you come down here, it does say make sure you add your billing details, because that gives you control, especially you want to avoid any uninterrupted services of getting the full AI capabilities of using this platform. So that was step number one. Once you've done step number one, we are now going to head over to Workspace. Okay. So once you select Workspace, you're going to want to go ahead. You can see there's some have already been created. You're going to go select Add Workspace. Once you select Add Workspace, it's going to give you this pop-up like so. And when you go to Create Workspace, just put any name there. So that's where you enter your name, the name of the workspace you want to dedicate to this. A company name you are either doing for yourself or maybe a client project. So you've got company name here. And then a subdomain name. You can keep it really simple. You can clean this up. It's completely up to you. Or you can actually, make it more congruent with your company name or the name of the project or the workspace you are going to be setting up for this. Once you're happy with that, you simply go ahead and select OK. And that is it. You are good to go. The next step is you would simply go to Pages, because now you've got your workspace set up. You've got API step 1. Step 2 was create a workspace. And then step 3 is you are ready to go and create using AI, or you can create from scratch. So let's go ahead and create from AI, and then it will allow you to communicate with the chatbot. Okay, so once you select create with AI, you can see, let's just put name as a workspace we created, and now you can actually start working with the chatbot AI to build out your website. Okay, now in this step here, you can see step number 3, we're going to actually now start communicating with the AI chatbot. So first of all, it's going to ask, hey, what type of business are you building? Now in this section here, you can see you can actually select your business type or enter something custom by simply typing manually using your keyboard. So you're going to see a whole array of different industry and business types you can choose from using the scroll bar here. You can see just the list is endless. So this is a great place you can actually choose your own business or maybe build a site based on a good suggestion. So for this example, let's go ahead and select barbershop. Once you're happy with that, select enter. The next prompt will be, what do you want to name your business? Now for this example, let's keep this really simple. You would expect just put any business name or the business name in question. Let's put Barbershop LLC as this example. Next, it's now going to ask me, what do I want this topic to be about? So there's, something in there saying, urban gardening, but our one's going to be about barbershop. So this is a great place for the topic. Let's say barbershop services for men, and you can actually specify you want New York, your local area, city, it doesn't matter. So the more information you give it in terms of this, the website, the AI will understand that and give you a better build when it comes to your website. Now once I'm happy with that, let's just stick with barbershop services for men. Okay, as you can see, let's put men. Next, I have a whole array of different languages I can choose from, so then the AI can actually build the site out in different languages, whether it's English, Japanese, Korean, Arabic, Bengali, Bulgarian, Chinese, Czech, Danish, etc, etc. So once I go ahead and let's stick with English for this demonstration, I select enter. And now it will actually generate and think of an outline for my site, how it would appear, okay? The breakdown of my site. So here we've got a header, about us, and we've got 3 various different topics here. And we've got services, gallery, testimonials, and call to action. Now there's nothing stopping me from deleting elements, or I can actually add. So say for example, if I wanted to put contact us, our products, etc, etc. So once I go ahead, I simply select next, and then it will start putting the outline together and start creating the construct of it. And then the next step will be choosing a template. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and that is step number 3 of actually working with the AI chatbot to build out your site. So the next step will be choosing your template. Okay, now we've got a number of different templates we can choose from, and we're going to go ahead and select a simple template. Let's go ahead and select this one here. Once you selected your template, simply select continue. and it will go ahead and start building out your site like so. So what you're seeing now, it will create all of the content you require for your site, especially linked with the topic, and all the graphics. There may be animations throughout the pages, the containers, the structure, the design blocks. Everything is being created, especially when it comes to copywriting, and even the images. So everything is being created for you. Is going to be unique. Okay. So what I want to do now, once you actually select, select your template, the website is now getting built up. What happens if you want to actually go and edit your site? All you simply do is select edit here, top right. Once you select edit, it'll open up the editing pan. Immediately, straight away, you will see the AI assistant like so has now been opened, which can actually help you streamline a lot of processes when it comes to building your site. But we'll come back to that later on. Let's close that for the time being. So let's get familiar with the interface. So in terms of the interface here, the editing section, we've got a number of tabs. We'll start from the top. Now we've got different devices, images or icons of the device. So we're desktop, laptop, iPad and mobile. So if you select them, you will see how it will look on those different devices. Okay, so you can always change and see how responsive it is on those different devices. Also, you can actually look at your site in a large mode, okay, full view mode like so, or you can revert back to desktop. Also, you have a HTML tab here, so if you want to go to the more advanced features and editing of your site, you can do so. Next, we've got the view. So if you want to preview your site on a new page, how it would look in a new website, that's how it would look in a new tab like so. And we have the little editing toggle. Okay, so if you select that and you select any element on your site, you can actually see that corresponding with the section editing. Okay, so we have the image there, we've got text, font settings, paragraph settings, etc, etc. So if you want to make any of those edits to the font, the style, the coloring, adding gradients, you can do so like so. So hey, if you can see different editing going on in terms of the gradients, or if you want to clear that, you can actually change the color using the ability of changing it and customizing it. We've got preset colors. If you want to have a set color there, you can, if you've got your own branding color, or maybe you want to add a particular highlight behind the box so it's a bit more prominent, you can do so. Come back to the color, put it as white, and you can see how that gets affected. Now, those are the simple tools there to the top. Also, you can do undo or redo. You would then go ahead and save your template. You also have this little cog here. Once you select it, you can see there's page information you can change. We've got SEO ability, SEO data and robot settings, favicon if you want to add your own favicon, and also GDPR that you would simply enable or disable, and you can preview that as well. So if you want to be compliant in terms of if you're using cookies or similar technologies, once you enable it and you check it in preview mode, you'll see it pop up to the left where it says do you want to accept cookies whilst you're navigating the site, etc. Now the columns to the left, okay, we've got a couple of tabs here to the left like so. Let's go through them individually. You've got sections, so you've got basic sections, as you can see. We've got header section, sliders, articles, photos, and even much more. So when you select all categories, it'll actually open up a larger section to show you that got landing pages, headers, articles, list, quotes, FAQ, call to action, logo list, pricing, shop, profile, contact, footer, animated. So even when it comes to things like pricing or shop, if maybe you've got some e-commerce related store, or maybe you have digital products, anything that you're selling relating to products or e-commerce, you can actually enable these kind of e-commerce style blocks. So if I went to go select any particular section, doesn't matter, let's just use this as an example. Once I select it, it will populate it automatically in the site as a whole section like so. Now if I come to the section, I can actually change the image. I can link the image, okay, to any URL or hyperlink. I can select the image. Okay, so you've got change image or select, so you can actually upload your own or edit if you want to change the dimensions of the image, okay, or you can do it manually, it's up to you. Secondly, when it comes to any component here, yes, once you select it, you can go to the editing toggle, and you can actually change the text, the color, even add your own content in there. Buy now button, you can actually edit the button, you can link it, you could duplicate it, etc, etc. So if I go to edit, you'll see this whole different levels of editing. When it comes to general, you can actually change your hover, text, save templates, and you can see there's different styles you can add, just like so. If I now come back to that button, if I want to actually link it, I can actually link it to my own payment URL, or maybe have a third party connectivity that will then redirect that buy now button to a payment page, or whatever fulfillment service you may have in mind. Alongside that, if you want to actually open it in a new tab, you can enable that, or maybe you want to create a light box, whether it's from image, video, or YouTube. You can actually select your own, or you can upload your own. And that will also be the same for view details. You can see that text, you can actually edit that, add hyperlinks, etc, etc. Now, these containers, yes, you can change them. You can make one bigger than another, like so. See, and you can make it more prominent. So all these images, yes, if you select it, you can see now I do have the ability, if I want to upload, or if I want to select it or add a link. So if I went to select, you'll see it'll open up this new window here where you can actually upload. You can search for media, or you can use the AI image generator. So say, for example, this, if I was selling something like, it's a barber shop, so let's find scissors. Okay, so scissors, spelling's not going to be right, so I come here, scissors for a barber. Okay, so the more specific you are, the more better you'll get a response in terms of image creation by the AI. Alongside that, you have other tools here. We can actually change the shape and the size of the particular image in question that you want to create. So here you can see I can change the dimension. We've got square, horizontal, vertical, wide. Or if I select this little tab here where it says basic and go more advanced, you can see now I can actually change the different styles for the image I want to create. I can change the different color. I can change the framing. Okay. And I can change the lighting. So you can be very specific, and you create highly unique imagery using the AI generator. But I'm going to keep this as basic. Simply select create, and we'll give it a few moments, and it will create an image for me, like so. So you can see it's created a unique image for scissors for a barber. Simply select use, and there you can have that image is now being created. Now I have the ability, if I want to go edit and I want to kind of resize it, I can, depending on what I need, or create something a bit more custom using freehand editor like so. So that's how we would add sections. And let me show you another section. Let's just go ahead and add something basic like so. Okay, there you can see. Another cool thing is with sections, which is really important, you can actually add a navigation bar. So if I come and select navigation bar, I hit module settings, and you can see now it's opened up this navigation bar settings / menu builder. So I can change the style of it. So if I want to have a fixed style there, I can add a logo to the navigation bar, or I can just have the text there, or I can remove the text. That's completely up to me. I can change the background color like so. You can see that, or the presets. Okay, something nice, vibrant and bright. You can see red. Let's go for that. And simply select OK, and you can see now that's now been added. Also, if I go back to the settings, I've got the menu builder, so I can simply come and I can either rename them, or I can simply remove. So imagine I'm deleting everything. So for this demo, let's remove everything that we have here. Let's remove. And now if I select OK, you can see it's just got a little home tab. I come back to module settings, go to the builder, press the little plus, and now I can actually add items. So say, for example, if I was creating like a blog or something like that, I can actually select OK. And just like that, you can see now it's appeared. If I want to go to the blog and I want to select an icon opposed to the text, I would simply come to this section here. Let's find something blog related. Let's go for maybe a little pencil or something like that. There we go, blog, update, select OK, and you can see now there's a little pencil there. So instead of me having text, there's nothing stopping me from having an icon there. So let's clear that, let's get rid of that. I update, and I can add something else. Let's say about us. Select add, let's add something else. Our services. add book an appointment, add. Okay, so now you've probably seen there's no particular order. You know, we've got blog, about us, our service, book an appointment. So what I can do if I want, I can actually rearrange things simply by drag and drop, depending where I want it. Okay, so our services, about us, and maybe contact us. So there's nothing stopping you, even with the contact us. If you wanted to, you can actually have, you know, if you had something like WhatsApp or some kind of mobile provider online, you can actually add that in there. I could go to an icon. Let's find a telephone. So if I had WhatsApp, for example, if you want to send people directly to your phone, your virtual phone number, you simply put it in the link like so and select add, press OK, and you can see now I've got this little phone there. Now, alongside that, if I want in the menu builder, say, for example, our services, I could simply select the plus and go display text. I would write men's haircut, okay? Men's haircut as a service. Now, why would I do that? Once I select that, you can see it's got its own little tab. I don't want that. I simply drag it under our services. And now, can you see it's going to now layer it inside our services? And what that means, if I select OK, our services now becomes a drop down. And even with that drop down, if I want with a sub menu color, I can actually apply a different color for that. So if I press OK, you can see now it's turned purple. So we can customize that. So if you want to build additional pages, okay, using the platform, you can. You would simply come back to the specific you know, tab you wanted. So say, for example, we had men's haircut. I would come here and enter the new link or the URL, enter URL here. And then you can either have that refresh in the same page, or alternatively open it in a new window. So just imagine google.com as an example, like so. Okay, select update, and you can see that will be ready to go now. That will open up in Google. Now, alongside that, we also have other options. So say, for example, if I want it to be a clickable tab in the menu, and it will actually scroll down to any particular place on the sales page or on the site. The one way I could do that, once I select a specific section, you see under responsiveness, so let's go here, let's go to section settings, sorry, go to more. You can see it says add section ID. So let's just say, let's call it products. Okay, you can name it anything you want. So let's just say products, and now we close, and you can see now that has appeared here as products. Okay, so what I can do, I can make sure I copy this. Okay, it's got hashtag products. Now, if I come back to the menu builder and I go under our services, or you know, this section here, I would simply put it in the section where it says a link and put hashtag products. Why would I do that? Once I go ahead and put hashtag products and I update, I simply select OK. When I press our services men's haircut, once I select it, you can see how it's immediately scrolled down to this particular section we've assigned as hashtag products essentially. Okay, so if I come back, section settings, I'll show you under add section ID, I've just listed it as products. However, it will put the code hashtag, so it understands that yes, you need to scroll down immediately. We can do this for any section on the page. So imagine you got contact us or book now, make our appointment. I would come to section settings, say appointment. As soon as I type that in, you'll see it's come up here as hashtag appointment. I would then scroll immediately back to the top. We go to module settings. Let's go to contact us. I could come here to the link, put the hashtag appointment, update, select OK. And if I go to about us, oh, let's go back. Let me just double check. So contact us. Yes, contact us, sorry, is a telephone there. I select, and you can see how it's just dropped immediately down to the bottom. So it's very intuitive like that, and you can actually have it as one page websites opposed to creating multiple websites and linking it into navigation bar. So it's completely up to you how, or in terms of functionality, how you want to create your site and what you want it to do exactly. Now, next, let's look at content blocks. So if I scroll back, let's go to the top. Content blocks, instead of it being entire sections, you can now add different layers of blocks. You can directly drag and drop into your site. So you've got a number of different blocks you can choose from: basic, article, headline, buttons, photos, profile, contact, products, and the list goes on. So it will be the same process. Okay, so say for example, if I had a particular section, I maybe want to add a video. There's nothing stopping me from adding a video directly into the header. Simply come here, drag and drop, and there you have a video now. Once I select the toggle, you can see now with this video I can actually change the source and put YouTube video in there. Alongside that, if I don't want to add something directly, I can actually put a video, upload my own video like so. Once you select it, you can see you have the features of uploading it directly. Okay, so for this one, let's leave that there. So you get the gist of it, how you would do it. Now again, with backgrounds, if you do want to change background colors, it's the same process. You can actually change everything, different colors as you so desire. If you want your own image in the back, you can do so. Okay, or maybe you want a gradient. That's everything. You have that flexibility to do so. Now let's just keep this as black, and I'll show you something really easy to use. Now once I've done it, you can see all the text is all hidden because it is in the color black, right? If I go to text color, I can actually make it light, and you can see everything has now appeared. So I can change it for light and dark and vice versa. All the content, I can actually make adjustments on the content, the positioning, even the text, the alignment, the line spacing, the paragraph size, and even the transparency. And even on something, if I have an image there or a section, if I want to click an image as an example, then that's something when you click the image, it may you can open up a little light box, or you can have it redirect to a URL or hyperlink of your choosing. Now another really great part of this is as well, say we have this image here. Under this, let's have a look. Let's just close this. Can you see where it says images? We can actually add quick effects. So in order to see these effects, I would suggest open up settings, go to live preview, and on this section we'll find like so. This is the image now. If I add the Ken's burn effect, you'll see it is slowly zooming into this image. Very subtle animation, but it is zooming into that section. Now parallax and scale, it will be upon scroll, you can see how it's coming closer to you. Okay, and visible on preview, this one, parallax. Okay, so this image now essentially is locked. Can you see how it's locked and fixed as it's scrolling through? Okay, and then you got zoom on hover. So if you put your mouse on the cursor on the image, you'll see how it's zooming in. Okay, very subtle, but these are the things that you can do. And also put an overlay on that, like a tint. Completely up to you. Okay, just to customize it and make it a little bit more unique and dynamic. Now you got obviously click. If you do click an image, like I said, you can actually have an image that appears, okay, or open like so. And then you got responsiveness. So if you have a particular image, you can change the minimum height. You can customize it depending on your needs and your wants. So next, what we can do, let's go for some of this text here. You can add layers of typography. But just before we get that, let's just try one more example of something different. If you have payment buttons, you can add those payment buttons like so. Let's go for process. Anything you want to add, you drag and drop, and you can go ahead and you can customize each component if you want on a particular section. Say for example, you want to add something a little bit different, you can do so by simply selecting this little plus here, and you'll see this will open up a new window. We can add more components directly. So you can see I can put that image in there. And I could do it for each and every single one. I could change things around, maybe put a map in that one. And here, let's have a social media link. Maybe put something else in there. Let's go for HTMLS. So actually, I'll show you this in just a moment because that's a really cool feature as well. So if I come back, let's go for, let's open that up. Let's go for an image. So select that. Okay. Let's find something. There we go. There we go. We've got a nice image in there. Okay. If I get rid of that, you can delete, and now we've got images in there. So we can really break this up. We can change, again, remember the toggle, come in, you can change things around, the size, the text, the font, the gradient, the coloring, etc., etc. Now another really good method as well is under typography. Okay, once you open this up, you can actually apply this to a particular section or the entire page, okay, the entire site. So you've got a whole array of different typography styles to choose from. So what I mean by that is, can you see there's a drop down? So you've got different typography styles that you can choose from. So what this means is that once you select one, you can actually designate section or page. Once you select it, it will apply it through. It will apply it to your site. Can you see that now? How that's changed? Let's have a look. So instead of me going through bit by bit, it will carry on that theme throughout the typography theme throughout the entire page. Okay. Alongside that, we have another great ability of animation. So if you want to change different styles of animations for the text, not only can you do that in terms of fading or sliding, you can actually go a little bit more advanced. You can apply it to elements, columns, rows, containers, whether someone's viewing or scrolling. So spend the time and go through different elements and see which one you enjoy doing. Okay, so if I got this right here, you can see how I want that to appear. Or even with the image, you can see I can apply different animations. I can even have the delay, so you can really customize exactly what you want to happen, whether someone's viewing, whether it's on entering, leaving, even parts of the timeline. It's completely up to you. Okay, bounce, there we go. Okay, so that's animations. Next, we have HTML, which kind of looked at, but if you want to go more advanced, you want to put pixel tracking codes, any header codes, anything like that, you can come specifically and tweak the code. Alongside that, we do have something called under content blocks. Under basic, you can see you can actually add HTML directly, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So let's say, as an example, if I come here, you can see if I put the HTML code here, simply go to the settings icon here, you can see I can actually come here, remove this and put my own piece of code in there, number one. Or alternatively, we have another version of that, so it's a bit more cleaner. And you can see settings as well, and you can paste that code in there. So, imagine you want to embed any kind of third party or responder, anything third party related when it has an HTML embed code, you can do so. Videos, booking, scheduling tools, meeting appointments, payment gateways or payment buttons, PayPal, Stripe, etc., etc. So you get the idea. Now, another tool we have, which was covered, was the, before we get to this, let's go to the form. So in terms of the forms, if you want to use this, you can actually have third party. Okay. So you can actually, generate leads, which we'll cover. So that will be in the dashboard. And also you can, when somebody enters that information. So say, for example, with lead or form configurator, if you come back to either sections or content blocks under contacts, you can actually, gather information if you're list building, doing giveaways, lead magnets, etc., etc. Simply drag and drop, or use the sections for contacts. You can get people's name and emails. And also with the settings, you can, if I close that, you see on the toggle, you can customize these sections also. Okay, so you can see now, if I come here, let's go to this one, more settings, and you can see the background image of that I can actually change and I can alter. Okay, let's go for gradient. You can see that looks really nice, and there's nothing stopping me also, if I want, with that window, make it a little bit smaller. It's completely up to me how I want to do that. Return. And alongside that, if you do go back to forms, you can actually use webhooks if you want to use external integrations with things like Zapier or Pabbly. Okay, for this example, I'm just showing you something very simple, but remember, with the content blocks, especially when you got the HTML capability, there are literally no restrictions. You could come and paste this. If you have your own autoresponder code, you would come and create that. You can actually have your own pop-ups or responder codes, forms, etc., etc. So you kind of get the gist of it. Now, next, we do have something called the AI assistant. So the AI assistant is a really powerful AI capability, and there's two aspects of it. So we've got the AI assistant number one, but you also, on each page, you'll notice we've got a little AI rewrite capability, a redesign, and magic redesign. So what these things are, in terms of the AI rewrite, it will actually just rewrite the copywriting of the page, keeping the images intact. Okay, and then with the redesign, it will actually keep the written content intact, but it'll only change and focus on the graphics. Okay, change the graphics. So it may be a case, you're happy with the content, you just want to change the graphics. That's what it's there for. If you're vice versa with the rewrite, if you're happy with the graphics but not happy with the content, you can actually have the AI go and redo those sections. Now with the magic redesign, essentially it will actually resculpt the entire page, the design, the copy, and the imagery. So if, as an example, let's go ahead and find a section. Let's say this one. If I simply select Magic Redesign, it'll take a few moments, depending how big your section is, and it'll go ahead and change the text. Okay, you can see the headline here, the sub headline, and even the graphics, and even the section itself, you know, in terms of the design or the layout. So it's going to go ahead, and you can see now it's redone the content and all the images, and it's redone that. So you've got an option, it can actually do that as many times as you want. So here, let's just do redesign. So we're looking to just keep the content intact, but just focus primarily and change the imagery. Okay, and remember, these are very unique images that are created. So you never have to worry about, you know, scouring the internet and finding, you know, images, or crafting, you know, images, or putting anything together, especially when it comes to copywriting as well. And you can see, look, it's created completely new section there. Okay, with brand new images, very beautiful, very lovely images. And you know, you can come all as well, add your own image in the background, change the color, etc., etc. Same editing functionality. If I come back to the assistant, you can see here with the assistant, you can actually ask it anything generally that you want to do. So say, for example, if I come to this section here, I can say, for inspiration, if you ever get stuck under here, you've got something called command examples. Now this will ideally focus on just a general overview of the section that you're dealing with in question. However, if you have, you know, empty mental blocks, you can come to this section here with the prompts, and it'll actually help, you know, maybe you want to add a new section that highlights, etc., etc. Anything you want to revise the headline, underline the phrase. Do you see the button with the grey background? You know, you've got general on canvas section, you've got with block sections, asking questions if you want to extract information, or maybe get articles written or bullet points. And then with edit selected text is more specific to only text that you want to subtly make changes. We also got the image generator, the section and layout sections. So anything you select, like let's say add a background slider. Okay, you can see it's being populated in there. I select send, and it'll add a background slider. So you can see in the background there's a slider now being added. Okay, I can clear that prompt. I also have the ability of speech to text, so I can use my microphone to dictate the commands that I want. So you know, it's up to you. Use your imagination and be specific in what it is that you want, and then speak into the microphone and actually have that written for you. Next, asking questions if you want to have articles written. So if I come here, let's find ask questions. Here you go. Explain our galaxy in a beginner-friendly way, just to kind of give you an example. Okay, let's go ahead and send. And it'll actually start creating you an article or breakdown on how the galaxy was created, so you can see like so. Okay, so imagine you can never get stuck ever on copywriting or creating bullet points or any social media posts, anything whatsoever. So here, once I select this section here, can you see there's a green container around it? I'll simply go to edit selected text. I can clear this, and I can say, you know, update this text to make it more barbershop related. And as I say that, you can see I'll turn the microphone off, so you can see now it's a speech to text. I simply select send, and it's only going to focus on this text. Okay, you can see now that's automatically been updated to make it more barbershop related. So imagine now, if you're creating any pages and you're using the prompts and they're generic, you can now use the AI assistant to update it to make it more themed towards your subject and your topic. Okay, the same will apply as well for the image. Okay, so let's just say in terms of the image, let's go for create an image that is barbershop related. Once I do that, you can see now I send, and it will create an image barbershop related. So more specific I am for what I'm asking, it will create a much better graphic. And you can see, look, this barbershop related. So, you know, the only limitation is your imagination. Okay, you can do this for anything. So say, for example, if I came to, let's say, a command, and I found this one, you know, this section is being, you know, this section is about AI powered web solutions, got nothing to do with barbershops. Okay, but we'll give it a few moments and let it create that section for us. And you'll probably see now, let's have a look. Okay, so you can see this is now being created. And if you notice, this is an image. So it's creating an image based on that. And that's not what I wanted because I was on the wrong tab. So in terms of the assistant, if you select images, it will only create an image based on that prompt. So I want to go to general now. So if I go again to general and I say send, so you can see how specific this is. Like, you know, it is very intuitive. Now you can see, look, a brand new section is being created. And what I want to do is I want to recreate this. So yes, it's not related to barbershops whatsoever, and you're right. So I go back to my assistant. I go to the speech to text, the mic. I turn it on. Update this section to make it barbershop related. Update this section to make it barbershop related. Okay, select send. So just make sure before you turn it off that it actually updates and listens to and it updates it. So here you can see, look at this, the ultimate barbershop experience. And again, I can go to the image, I can get that updated, and you can see book now, view gallery. So it's doing it for me, and it'll give me two versions of it. See the original, and then we've got the brand new updated version. Which one I like or I don't like, I can simply come to remove, and there we have only one. Alongside, if I'm happy with a particular section, maybe I want to kind of recraft it. So I'm doing e-commerce, we do have the ability for duplicate as well. So you can now duplicate sections there like so. Or if I come to section settings, I can actually duplicate that there as well. I can do spacing, you know, animations of it. If I want a section to be animated, how I want it to appear, that's something I can add. So like so, okay. Maybe on scroll, the scroll button. And then we've got responsiveness. So say for example, if I want a particular section being shown, let's say got this section here, maybe a particular section you may want to have shown on, you know, a particular device. That's something you can do. Okay. You can see there's so many beautiful settings that you can choose to really create a unique experience for the user. Okay. So next we have settings you've probably seen before already. If I just, let's close this down, you can actually, you know, if you have animations on the page, maybe you want to clear them and test things out standard, you can. You also have zoom. So if you want to zoom out and see your site, how it's going to look like, and also live preview, so you can actually toggle around and see how it's going to look on different devices. Okay. And one more feature I'll show you. If you go to sections, you've got canvas mode. So once I select canvas mode, you'll see now instead of a section or you know, a section being locked, I can now move things around by freehand. I can actually rotate. But for this one, let's go ahead and let's delete. If I come back now to content blocks, there's nothing stopping me from coming to creating a headline, drag and drop. I can do anything that I want depending on what I'm looking for, and I can create my own unique page, essentially my own unique section. Now I'm going to remove this, and I'll show you another cool way of doing this. So if you come back here and you select this, double click, you can see now it's highlighted by the green container. You can see now I've got ability here of selecting this plus and adding. So imagine here now if I put a video, now I have a video below, but I don't want that one, I want a YouTube video. So I can come back here, select more, and I look for, here we go, and we've got a video now. And next maybe I want to, you know, it's a review page, maybe a download page, whatever it is. I want to have a payment button. So I come here now, and you can see, you're probably thinking, yeah, but it looks the same. However, now everything is in one container. So I don't need to take pieces bit by bit and move things around. I now have one block, and there's nothing stopping me if I want to come back to, let's come back to our pro blocks, and I can actually add an additional video or a map, you know, contact us, and or maybe even better, say for example, if I wanted to have an opt-in, I can come here and have an opt-in here if I was giving away, you know, making a landing page or booking page. And also if I wanted to, I could come here, let's go to content blocks. If I come down, go to basic, I could add a piece of code. So maybe I wanted to have my own unique booking code or an opt-in, whatever it may be. I can come here now and I'm good to go. So you can see now I can actually enter my own HTML code depending on what my needs are. So full flexibility, you're never restricted because you have the ability to add in specific, you know, HTML embed codes or JavaScript or CSS. It's completely up to you, especially if you're doing, you know, tracking Facebook ads. You need header codes, maybe countdown timers, maybe opt-ins, maybe booking forms, scheduling tools, or maybe third party, because you do also have in terms of that the webhooks and Pabbly and Zapier, etc., etc. So that's a generic overview. Hopefully that makes sense. So it's all about you taking, your time to enjoy learning all the amazing little capabilities that it has, and you can actually build very beautiful next level websites using this. Now, once you're done with everything, once you're happy with it, you can go to the cog. Okay, just make sure you update your SEO, your GDPR, your favicon. You can just update this information how you want it to appear once you actually have it uploaded, because that information will be relevant in the search engines. And once you've done that, you can simply go ahead and download your website page that you've created. Once you've downloaded that, it will give you a file, okay, zip file, that is now ready for you to upload onto your hosting, whether it's your own or maybe you're doing it for a client. Okay, so now it's ready for you to actually get that up and running on your own site. So it'll do everything, give you everything that you need, so you are good to go. So hopefully you enjoyed this overview, and good luck on building your amazing next level websites. Okay, bye bye.